All right, so our next topic is going to be burnout. Detecting, managing, and recovering. Burnout is real. It exists. Trying to manage burnout day to day because I'm working on so many different projects and things. It's very hard to kind of stay motivated without finding some outlet.
You're saying like always context switching, and you're trying to spread yourself a little bit too thin, maybe between different projects.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just like the pressure of working on a lot of different things.
It's funny the way you phrase that, like, burnout is real. Like, burnout is like some mythical thing that, like, oh, I saw some guy burn out once. Like, I feel like everyone knows that feeling of losing motivation and not wanting to go further with what you're doing because everything seems so shitty.
Yeah, I guess that's really, burnout really is kind of loss of motivation to keep working more than anything else. I think, a lot of things can cause burnout. I mean, it can be, like you said, being spread too thin between multiple things. Yeah. It can be having a bad run. If you're raising money and it's not going well, you can get burned out doing that.
Yeah.
If you hit a technical hurdle that is, not fun to solve or seems impossible to solve, or just, sometimes outside life things, some death in the family can cause burnout in your career despite not being part of it.
So how do you think you personally detect it? Like, how do you know what's coming up? Is there like a physical manifestation of
for me, it's a sense of dread and a sense of like, I don't want to be doing this. Like, this is the last thing I want to wake up and do. Like, when you wake up in the morning and you're like, another day, okay, fine. And like, you have to force yourself into it.
You're like, I didn't die, I guess I'll get dressed.
Exactly.
That's it.
Yeah. Although I think it's funny you skipped over the most common cause of burnout, for me at least, which is just working too many hours.
Well, yeah, that's
the simplest explanation. Like, oh, you're working like 80 hours and sleeping under your desk.
So why do you think the brain does that?
Your brain, I mean, there's been science that shows you only have so much willpower to use over a period of time. I mean, your brain literally has a finite amount of willpower. And
I just don't understand why that even exists as an emotion or an action.
It's not an emotion or an action. It's like the fact that your brain no longer like has enough neurotransmitters to like keep you going. The pathways are probably just like so completely blocked that like dopamine does nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's the willpower equivalent of trying to stay up for 4 hours straight or 4 days straight.
Yeah, 4 hours is there.
Narcoleptic.
Yeah, we're all going to take a break in the middle of this episode to go take a nap.
Yeah, we're taking a nap.
We will put this on film.
Okay, no. So we were talking
just us napping.
Yeah, so we talked about like the causes.
Okay,
what do we do about
detecting, right?
Detecting.
How do you know when you're burnt out? You're just frustrated. You can't go on. Okay. Next, managing. How do you manage that?
Did we really finish detecting? Like,
if you have more now,
how do you detect it? Like,
so it's exactly what Tim said. Like, if I'm no longer having fun at what I'm doing, and things just seem like frustrating, I know I'm getting burnt out.
I guess if you have that continuously, because there are some days where I'm not burned out, where I'll be at work and I'll be just not completely in work mode. If I didn't sleep well last night, or the obvious one is you're hungover, or something like that.
I've never been hungover.
Of course.
I've heard
all of us have stomachs of steel.
Right.
Yeah, I think you're right. 4 out of 5 days of being completely tired, and just like physical ailments, like your hands start hurting, or like you have really bad headaches all the time, just like being irritated by small things that you can normally handle. Always detecting burnout.
Well, it seems to me is, if it's a project that you started out of the love of, which is, startups in general, you started because you love the idea, you love the fact that you're working on this, and then you realize you're daydreaming about working on something else.
Oh, yeah.
Or you're daydreaming on, hey, I should really stop programming and go back to grad school in Sweden.
I always imagine
something like that,
like shaping surfboards, just like on the beach, like just the most zen thing I can imagine.
Yeah, when you suddenly no longer want to be living this lifestyle.
All right, so we know I'm burnt out. No, I actually have been burnt out in the past so bad that I never wanted to touch a computer again. Like, wanted to give it up completely. And I did for like a couple of years.
And that's why you always use gloves in your programming?
That is why, yes. Okay.
Were you going to buy your pornography at the store? Is this like...
Those don't exist
And
anymore.
also gloves.
Yeah, I gloves for that too.
All right, so managing burnout. What do you do? Obviously, I love the gym. Like, I have to go to the gym and just like.
Yes, I cannot be sane if I don't go to the gym regularly.
Yeah.
Like, exercise is important.
Did you just flex a muscle? You're
exercise is important. Yes.
I need this. I need that.
Gosh, I itch.
Stop. Really. So exercise.
Yeah, I found reflection. I don't go to the gym that much, but I do like to go. I'm just saying I don't go that much. Like, it's not a big deal for me.
You should have. I don't go to the gym that much.
I do that as well. I go to Dolores Park.
That's kind of my like. Yeah, but I mean, I want like silence. Like, we want a bike ride through Golden Gate Park, up along the beach.
Well, it's exercise. I mean, it's still the same thing. It's
but
doing
it's
something
quiet.
physical.
Yeah, it's quiet reflection and time to do something where you're not thinking about it. Even just getting away from my desk and walking for like 20 minutes and like just like. Touching my hands to see how my hands feel because like
so remembering that you still have hands.
So taking acid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
that's what I do to unwind.
Like, yeah, you can definitely
Just
do that.
acid.
Yeah. Yeah. 10 fingerprints all at once.
I just bathe in it.
Yeah.
So recovering. Let's say like you've tried to manage and you've officially burned out.
Go on a vacation. Take a month. Go somewhere you haven't been before. Anything where you can get away from the thoughts of the things that are making you upset. Like, you have to put yourself in a place where you can be positive.
I completely agree. I haven't had a vacation in a long time. Maybe I should go on some travels.
Yeah.
I think a lot of startup people though do the vacation where if they're getting close to burned out and they let their startup get acqui-hired and they go work somewhere else for a year or two because it's significantly less stressful working for a big company than a startup. And it isn't a way to
so working in a big company is like taking vacation. I mean,
I know a lot of startup people who have done that.
I
take a year, go work somewhere else, get a large paycheck, and then go back.
I know someone that's just hired at Google and was super excited and got there, and he was just like, it's like a vacation for people.
Yeah.
There's so many distractions. Like, there's not a big push to like make real things happen over there anymore.
Yeah, deadlines are not as like must happen as they are in startups. You're not.
So that's
dead
interesting.
if you don't get things out.
Yeah.
And I think being honest with yourself too, and being honest with those people around you when people start asking so much of you, and you're like, I'm somebody that likes to try to please people, right? And sometimes I just have to say, look, I don't have the time for that right now. Like I can't work on X, Y, and Z because I'm doing something else.
Yeah. Also, I mean, just making sure to keep some amount of work-life balance. Like, we were talking about exercise, but also, take at least a day a week where you're not working and you're hanging out in Dolores Park.
Oh, totally.
Or if you have a significant other, you actually spend some damn time with your girlfriend or wife or whatever. And, go to a movie or do something completely separate from work for a period of time, simply to give your brain some chance to not have to think about things.
Yeah. Even just taking a day where you sleep in until noon can be great.
Yeah, well, that's also something I think is extremely important.
Yeah,
is sleep. When I was doing the startup, I got burned out probably 4 months in. I think it was largely because of lack of sleep.
Was that because you were sleeping in your office?
No, yes, that was part of it also, was the sleeping on a futon in the back of the office. But
Zach only likes sleeping in other people's offices.
yes.
Yeah.
That's the only place he feels comfortable. That wasn't as funny as I thought it was going to be.
Zach only likes sleeping.
Luckily, you're stating
I'm
that was pretty
still working on that joke. Okay, so I think just seriously, a lack of sleep might be what causes burnout for me as well.
Yeah, I actually discovered that recently.
But how do you do that when other people depend on you to be somewhere at like 8 a.m.?
You tell people, like, I can't do this all the time.
Good time management. If you have to be somewhere at 8 a.m., you go to sleep at midnight.
Or that.
Okay, so we've talked about burnout, detecting, managing, and recovering from it. If you have any problems, if you have any questions, if you need somebody to like vent to, we're always here. You can reach us at our Twitters. You can call me. This is my number. I'm putting my number up. I don't care. Text me. Like, let's talk about it. Let's grab a coffee. If you feel you're getting burned out, reach out.
Yeah.